Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Red and Black podcast. We are joined by two very special guests today. That's right, two. Um, and we got two of the Buffalo commits with Cullen Edwards and Rory White, two Red Raiders. It's been a big Red Raider takeover this month. Thank you guys so much for being able to take time out of your schedules to be able to join us tonight. I really appreciate it. I know you guys got upcoming graduation and everything to look forward to and to get ready for. So to find the time to join us, we really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for inviting us for this.
Oh,
It means a lot.
of course. And
Yeah,
you know
thank
what?
you.
I knew, especially at one point, I was like, we got to get these guys on. We got to get them on, 100%. Like there's no shot that, especially before you guys graduated and everything, that we weren't going to have you on the show. Impossible. We knew we had to get you guys on. So this is definitely an episode that I feel like a lot of people have been looking forward to. So can't wait to finally, get it all done. Um, so like I was talking about a little bit before, it's our infamous opening question for every episode. A lot of people kind of get into the sport of wrestling for some different reasons. Not everyone kind of has the same reason as to why they got into it, or similar sometimes. Whether that's maybe a family member who introduced him to the sport, or whether you guys were the first one to kind of start the wrestling legacy in your family, or whether it was like some flyer posted in like your youth school hallway. How did that kind of journey start for you guys?
Cullen, do you want to start?
Yeah, I can. That's fine.
All right. Yeah.
For me, I honestly didn't know what wrestling was half my life. My brother and my father have done it, and I was surrounded by it, but I never really understood what it was. And I played hockey like half my life from up until the age of 7 or 8, or yeah, like 8. And then I was trying out for a hockey team. I got cut from it, and my dad said to me, "You should try and pick up wrestling." And I was like, "Okay, it's something new." And I picked it up, started wrestling, and one of the most fun.
That's because my dad. My dad wrestled for St. Francis. Um, he picked it up because I think he also got cut from basketball. I think he was really tiny, so it didn't work out. So he started wrestling his sophomore year of high school, and then I mean he just loved it. He coached this a lot. I was born, and I mean, from the day I was born, I knew I was wrestling and be my friend. So
And that's definitely an incredible story. It's rare that we get like the father son duos, especially here in the CHSAA. I know like a lot of like wrestling dads and everything like that. They're like, oh, especially if I get a son, as soon as he's out the womb, I'm strapping the shoes on him and he's getting on the mats. It's like kind of like something that they look forward to. So I'm sure as soon as Papa White found out, he was like, oh, a boy, yes, we're finally, as soon as he's born, we're gonna get him on the mats and he's gonna be a wrestler and it's gonna be in the family. So I'm sure that was definitely something that they were looking forward to. Um, I know for me personally, I know I shared it a
oh
little
yeah.
bit too. Um, I got into it because initially we were a big WWE family growing up. So we saw it in like our middle school hallway. My brother saw a flyer and was like, "Oh, I'll join wrestling." And I never got to see him compete for his first youth like season. So all I thought was my brother was like body slamming people through tables in like these unsanctioned matches. And I was like, they're allowing this at like 12 years old. Like, this is crazy. This is gangster. I'm gonna join. Like, this is awesome. And like obviously that's not at all what it ended up being. Like I ended up joining and it was like the complete opposite. You can imagine my surprise when I showed up to the room and it was just a wrestling mat and mats all over the walls and no ring, no ropes, nothing. I was like, oh, this is not at all what I thought it was going to be. But obviously, stick it out for the long run, and obviously, it was a blast. I wouldn't have changed that decision for the world. Um, And how did that decision eventually lead you guys to being Red Raiders, to being KD6 wrestlers? How did that all come about?
Rory, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. Like I said, friends, the principal, Mr. Masor, he has coach and a very good friend of his, and they ended up coaching together. And so, I mean, my dad just always, I was always going to be a Red Raider. And
We're on
oh,
this.
yeah, like entrance exam, and I made it. And freshman year, I rolled for got to coach both my dad and me, so I thought that was sweet. I think it was something he wanted to do. And then the next year, he stepped down from head coach, and Coach Run took over, and Hart came in, and all the other transfers like Griffin, Zach, Gage, Cole Hasley, and that, from there, just all practice hard. It's like a brotherhood. I mean, we just kept pushing each other, and it just we jumped levels. So
Our experience is a little bit different from Rory. I'm one of the transfer students, and I honestly didn't know what to expect from coming from a public school to a private school. I thought it was going to be a like completely. I'd say it's completely different, but it's still a big change. And with that fear and that wrestling, and like all the other guys, coaches, knew it just that just got brought so much and backs and because that team coaches put me where I am today.
100%. And I could kind of like relate to that, as well. I was a public school kid up until I had gone to high school and went to Farrell. So I didn't have like a whole lot of like Catholic education, things like that, especially leading up into high school. So kind of in a way, I felt a little bit behind when I first got into high school, but obviously the teachers and everything, my friends, like my classmates and everything did a great job with making me catch up and like making me feel like I was already a part of their culture in a way, even though like that's probably not the right word. Um, like in a public school, I feel like I still would have been kept in that corner in a way. Whereas I was kind of embraced
Hmm.
to kind of challenge myself and explore those challenges academically, and see the reward on the other side of it. Um, what are some of those specific experiences, whether that's academic or athletic at St. Francis, that you can share for the people at home? Maybe for some of our youth wrestlers who are considering St. Francis as a possible high school choice, what are some things that they might look forward to if they get to be a Red Raider?
I, when I transferred, the one thing I definitely strive to help people at St. Francis. They really want the best for you. They really like mean it, and they give you your option no matter what. And it's the wrestling, like the coaches really care, and you can tell. Walk around every kid out and fine tune little techniques them a little bit, even if it's 1% or 5%. It's just those that go a long way and want people to come back each day, and that goes for the youth. They find little things that help you they know how to repentance or like a paragraph. Just they want to go every single day.
yeah, I mean, he's right. Everybody there cares about CEO and become like and like help you. and more. And it's just always trying to push you. And I feel like that's one of the main things that separate St. Francis from public schools is really push you being pushed, and you're not if you're not uncomfortable, you have to push. So, and in front of that, they push you to your level.
And can you guys hear me right now? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Because it started to lag out a little bit
Um,
on my end. I wanted to make sure I just didn't lose you guys. I was hearing a little bit of that. It was cutting in and out, but I was able to hear it. St. Francis does allow you guys to challenge yourselves on and off the mat. I've had a lot of discussions with Coach Hart because I like to pick his brain a lot because he does have a lot of great takes and a lot of great insight. He's like a fountain of knowledge. So I like to pick a lot of the CHSA coaches' minds a lot of the time. And one thing that he said to my brother and I that stuck out was like if we were one of the like if we were Red Raiders. Sorry about that. Did we just get disconnected? Sorry about that. I think we just got
I think it comes.
disconnected. Yeah, Zoom's really acting up today. I apologize, guys.
Yeah. Get cut out.
Um, but as I was saying,
So
what happened?
talking to Coach Fire.
Yes, yes, yes. So one thing that stuck out that he had. Okay, I'm so sorry. I don't know why that keeps happening. I'm trying to see if it's on my end.
No, it's all right.
That way I can try and prevent it.
No problem.
That's okay. Okay, I think we might be okay at the moment. It's running a bit smooth. I don't know why, but Zoom's been doing that recently, and I'm extremely sorry.
No, it's all
No
right.
problem. Yeah.
So I'm gonna get back to it. Just want to make sure we're all good. Okay. Um, okay, take three. So like I was mentioning, I've talked a lot with Coach Hart. And one thing that he mentioned to my brother and I that really stuck out, was that if like we were Red Raiders, for example, he would go out of his way to find matches and try to make us lose in a way. Because losses are where you're going to gain the most experience and the most lessons and where's your mistakes in your wrestling? Because obviously, if you're winning your
Mm,
matches, you're not going to find too many mistakes. Because if you won the match, you obviously did something right. So he said, like
yep.
obviously, you would go out of your way his way to find those losses for you, find those best matches, find those losses, so you can ultimately be that better wrestler postseason. And that's something that because I'm an assistant coach too. That's something that I didn't really think too much about because, like, obviously, you want the best possible outcome for your wrestlers. You want obviously the best record they can achieve, the best accolades they could accomplish. But you don't really think how can I get them to lose so they can actually benefit from it and not making that a disservice and making that actually something that benefits your wrestler. And that was just one of the many things that he mentioned that really just stuck out and really just shows the level of coaching that he's at and really how much he cares about you guys to see that he wants the best for you guys. Um, Now that we're kind of looking a little bit forward, Like I mentioned a little bit earlier, you guys are looking forward to joining the University of Buffalo. Um, First, how exciting is that to be able to go from being Red Raider teammates to being teammates up in Buffalo? That must also be exciting.
It's awesome. I mean, I think me and Rory, we always like we've been teammates from middle school up until high school, but I think sophomore year, me and him kind of clicked and like started getting really, really close. As soon as I transferred in, I got to like know Rory a lot more, and the transition was super easy. And then we just started getting closer and closer, hanging outside of wrestling and school more. And now we're going to be roommates, and it's very exciting.
Yeah, I mean he said it. We've grown up like we live very close to each other. I've always known him. Um, but yeah, it didn't like we became friends like really sophomore year, and it feels great to have somebody else going to college, the same college. We're gonna wrestle together. We're roommates. Like it feels good to have somebody I know in this like new experience. So yeah.
That's definitely got to be exciting. Like you said, to kind of share that experience with someone you've known for a little while now, very close. Um, Practically brothers, we like to throw that word out a lot, especially with our CHSA schools, because you create a brotherhood within your schools and your teams, and a
Yep.
lot of the guys that even that I've competed with before me, after me, I'm still friends with to this day, and I'm sure it's that way with a lot of our schools and programs. Um, that even far beyond your college years, you guys might still continue to be in each other's lives, and that's a special thing that our sport gets to kind of provide for us. Um, and I actually forgot to have asked you this before. I forgot. We're going to take it a little bit back now. Um, there was actually a story, Rory, that I wanted to ask you if you could share. When you won your first CHSA sectional championship, you used a throwback singlet. And not only was it a nice throwback singlet, it was a special throwback singlet. I believe it was the same one your father won his sectional championship in as well. Um, Talk to us about how special that moment is to not only have worn the same singlet as your father, but to kind of bring it home in the same way. That must have been something awesome in the White household that weekend.
Yeah, I mean, uh, so I found the singlet and I was like, I gotta wear it. I mean, I made the finals and I was like, I need to wear this. It's my dad's singlet. Um, I mean, I thought it would be like a very nice gesture to him. Um, he wrestled his senior year, he won yeah, I think 145. And I mean, that stuck with him all his life, and he was just waiting for me to um finally get my shot at it. And um I was so nervous. I was really, really nervous because I wanted to finally do it and it never done it before. And um yeah, I punched my ticket. I won the finals. I was wearing a singlet. I mean, it felt great. I mean, it was a great moment. I mean, my dad's like my hero. I look up to him a lot. He's my biggest fan, my biggest supporter. So like I thought it'd be something cool to make him smile.
100%. And I think that was definitely something very special. Um, did he know initially that you found the singlet and that you were planning on wearing it for the finals, or was that also a surprise to him seeing you just wearing that singlet in your finals match?
I think I showed him that I found it, but I don't think he knew I was gonna wear it. So it was definitely a surprise, and he thought it was pretty sweet.
100%. I feel like that's definitely a very kind gesture, and I'm sure that he'll remember that for a very long time, if not for the rest of his life. Um, I'm sure that was very sentimental to him, and that's awesome that you were able to give that moment to him as well, and to kind of share that with your family outside of the mat in a very special way. Um, so thank you for being able to share that with us. We really appreciate it. Um,
Yeah.
and now going back forward. Um, University of Buffalo, do you guys know what you're going to be majoring in just yet? Are we undecided at the moment?
I'm going to be going into an education major, the K through 5 program there. So I'm going to be going into elementary. I've always wanted to like give back to like younger kids. I think they need an advocate 100%, and I want to be that advocate for them. I just want like there's something about it, and like just having like people strive to be the best they are, and I think that's my goal. Being a teacher is to just show people how they can be the best versions of themselves.
100%. I
Uh,
agree with that.
I'm going for criminology. I hope to become a
Nice.
state trooper. Um, I just also I like to help out and um, yeah, just help people that need help and enforce the laws.
And I'm sure if needed, give a mat return on the side of the road, right?
I hope that's not the case.
Oh, that's not the case, right? One of those classic Rory blast doubles with the big lift that you love to do so much.
I hope not.
Hope not. All jokes, all jokes. Hope not. Of
Yeah,
course, of course.
yeah.
But that's awesome. You know, you guys are definitely thinking of the future. Like you said, Colin, being able to give back not only to essentially the future generation, the youth. Um, you know, being an educator is so special. Um, especially with that age range. That's the age where I feel like a lot of the students are like, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to become this, I want to be they like you're able to mold them to be that success that they want to achieve, you know? Like
Yep.
being able to be that advocate, like you said. Um and State Trooper Rory White has a nice ring to it as well. Which is awesome. I studied criminology for a little bit. I was planning on being a homicide detective for NYPD. Um, not the route that I eventually ended up sticking with. But I might still have some leftover criminology books if you need, Rory. So just let me know. I would have to go rummaging around, but I might have some leftover textbooks.
I appreciate it.
um, so yeah, 100%. What can you say to those wrestlers, you know, especially those that are looking to possibly compete in college regardless of division, those who may not have considered University of Buffalo originally, who maybe after this episode might take a bit of an interest, or even just some advice for those starting that college search and that college journey. What would be a bit of your advice to them as they kind of start this process?
Um, I think no matter what division it is 100% impressed. Like it is very, very impressive, and I think if you really love working about 100%, go to the next level, no matter what it is, because I'm big on like I don't want to live life with regrets, and I love wrestling so much. And if I didn't wrestle in college, I know I would 100% regret it. So that this is what I'm going to do, and I'm not going to look back. And especially with the University of Buffalo, I wanted to go far for college originally, and it took Johnny and reached out to me, and I took the visit there, and I've never really looked at campus. Kind of hard to believe. I live 20 minutes away, but I've never really like took a dive into the campus. And when they took me on that visit, I they they text every day, almost every day to us, reaching out, like just checking up on our weekends and stuff like that. And I think that's really um, to our coaches being pushed to like push to I don't know how to word this, like push, like wanting to push you, because we've been in the room a little bit. They've like have reached out wanted us in that room and we have that experience, and they still like they get on you no matter like who it is. If you do something wrong, they tell you. You're doing something right, they tell you. And I think that's very, very, very good.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, just like Cullen said, you get one chance. There's really not much wrestling you can do after college. There is, but like really college, I feel like is the last chance for most people to continue really wrestling. That if I didn't regret it. I didn't really plan in college from like I didn't think about it really. I just thought I was gonna be done after high school. But once I went to UB, I fell in love with the place. The coaches, like he said, they really care about you. They're great coaches. Yeah, like you said, they reach out all the time, just asking how you're doing, just talking to you, asking you about life and stuff. I mean, they really care about you. I mean, it's a great place. It's a good culture. Like I said, the coaches really care. They got not a you. That's what I like about UB.
And that's awesome. And a lot of people hopefully can try and find not only inspiration, but guidance and be like, oh, so if it is possible, this is a possibility for someone like me. I could totally take the chance and go to a school like UB, like it's very possible. Because it's not just one person doing it, it's multiple and two from the very same team in the same year. So how can more people not, attend and make this possible? So it really does open up a lot of eyes and a lot of those doors and a lot of those paths to make these things possible. Um, and before we sign off for the night, any last words or anything you'd like to share to the people at home, people who might have supported you alongside the journey, or anyone who might just be watching the episode? Is there anything you'd like to say to them at home?
Um, Roy, would you want to go
Yeah,
first
I can
or?
go first. I just want to say, I appreciate all the coaches at Francis, every single one. I mean, Coach Hart, Coach Ron, Coach Kev, Coach Coop, Coach Andy, Coach Kellen, Coach Cat. I hope I don't forget anyone, but every coach at St. Francis, I mean, I appreciate them all. They really do love the sport, and they love all of us, and I appreciate everything they've done. They've pushed all of us to be the best we could be. Um, and I just want to say, like St. Francis, if you're thinking about it, you should totally give it a shot and roll for whatever suits you. They view the body that you rest in college. They can help you with that. Help with if you just want to try to do sport that. I mean, to help everybody and one of us.
I think one of the biggest things, like you said, that Coach Hart mentioned you is up for the postseason. I mean, we went to Detroit and I took 3 hard losses. And that was not a great weekend for me, but every single coach that was on that bench after the tournament was like, just keep your head up, keep working. You have work to do, and they strive for the best. They care about wins and losses, but that's not it's not end all be all. And they more focus on you getting better as a wrestler and as a person. And another thing I want to mention that they do that not most high school coaches do is they take the time away from their families, like Rory said, not just in season, but off season. They travel with you to tournaments like Freestyle States, Fargo, a bunch of other tournaments. They're there for you, supporting, and if they're giving you feedback. Like Coach Ron this summer watched every matches and texted me after every what I work on, and I just think that's one of the big things is with just in the but the fun moments, and I think that you jump and which is
And I can totally agree on that, and that's something I can see from the sidelines too. The devotion that the St. Francis coaches have to you guys is above all else. I was I had them on the show a few days ago, and Coach Winsman was on his drive back on the episode with us, and he was telling us that it's an hour for him both ways, so it's a 2-hour commute for him every day to coach, and he does that every day. And that's awesome that you guys have someone that dedicated and devoted to you guys on your staff that's willing to drive 2 hours away from his family every day just to help you guys get better. You know, like you mentioned, the coaches traveling with you guys to like freestyle states and all these other events, especially in the off season, where some other coaches would want to take that time in the off season to spend with their family. And obviously you can't blame them as well. But you guys have such a dedicated coaching staff that really does want to see the best for you guys, whether that's on the mat, off the mat, throughout your life or your wrestling career. They really have your best interest at heart. No pun intended, I guess. Um, so, with that being said, um, I was your host, Daniel Adams, and these were our two very special guests. And thank you guys so much again for being able to join us on the show tonight. I'm sure a lot of people were able to find a lot of inspiration and a lot of fun stories and everything shared from you guys. And this isn't going to be the last that we'll hear from you guys by any means. I am sure of it. Uh, Especially we help cover our CHSA athletes in college, so I'm sure we'll be posting a lot about your success once you guys head up to Buffalo. And obviously don't hesitate to reach out if you ever need anything. We always support, like I said, our athletes. So if there's anything you guys need while you're up and away, don't hesitate to reach out to us. We'll try our best to make it possible for you guys.
Thank you for having us.
thank you so much.
No, of course, anytime. Like I
I
said, I knew
appreciate
we had to
it
get you
for
guys on.